So, hello there. This is a new series. It's called One Wheel, One Stint. I'm doing a 6-hour race at Spa with 2 times fuel and 2 times tire usage, and every pit stop I'm going to change the wheel. We are starting off with the Simagic GT Neo. We have a full grid at Spa. The ambient temperature is 10 degrees. I set it to a nice sunny day, but somehow the weather settings from quali are now present in the race. I think it's because of I did quit after quali and then did load back in. Not sure, I think I've seen this bug again or before. So now we're up to the start. It took me a lot less tries than with AMS2. I think it was like 3 tries until we got T1 sorted. So yeah, the Simagic GT Neo, I ordered it I think last month. It arrived beginning of this week. I have had a little bit of time with it. First I wasn't really impressed by it. So because everyone was saying this is the perfect wheel for everything, and every other YouTuber is hyping that wheel. But after using it a little bit, I've come to like it more. If we're starting off by the looks, the forged carbon fiber is definitely something you love it or you hate it. I think it just looks like a bad camouflage. It doesn't look like a steering wheel, it looks like a toy. But that's just my personal preference. The LEDs for shifting, I think they are not bright enough. I'd like it one notch more, that I don't have to look at it and just see it out of the corner of my eye flashing when I have to shift up. I have a couple of DIY LED strips. You can turn way higher than that. Yeah, but overall, it is the perfect all-round wheel, I have to say it. It's 30 centimeters in diameter. You can use it for GT cars, which for them it's basically perfect. You can use it for Formula cars or for prototype, basically any kind of modern racing series. This wheel will work really well. It has a shit ton of buttons, more than you need. I tried to map all of them, I just don't need it. You have those 2 red thumb encoders, which are really nice. You can use them with the gloves and you feel every click, know exactly what you're doing. The 4 encoders in the middle of the wheel feel also quite good, but you have to take your hand off the wheel to use them. What I don't like are those 2 7-way funky switches. To me they're basically useless. If you just look at them, they activate in some direction, but doing something precise, it's basically not possible. The wheel comes with the Simagic 4 pedal kit on the back, so you have 2 shifters and 2 clutch pedals, which from default they're set up as dual clutches, basically like launch control. Not really needed for the cars I drive. So yeah. The shifter pedals are extremely silent and extremely soft. This is also personal preference. I like a wheel that clicks really loud when you shift it, and I also like the tactile feel you get from shifting. So both of those wheels, the GT Neo doesn't have this, so yeah, if I keep it, I think I'm gonna modify the shifter assembly a little bit, that it just gives me a little bit more tactile feedback. So yeah, that's basically everything there is to say to the GT Neo itself. my opinions will become a little bit more as I drive more wheels. Right after this stint I drove a stint with the SF1000, which is I think it's 1 or 2 centimeters smaller. If you put them right on top of each other you don't really see the difference, but when you have them in hand you feel it. It was way more tiresome for my hands. Here after the 20-minute stint I was, yeah, it's cool, I could go on, I could do 2 stints, 3 stints, 4 stints, no problem. With the SF1000 after 1 stint I was like, okay, this is enough. My hands do need a break. So we can look at the race a little bit. So I started in P18, I just did 1 lap of quali, the track got way faster in the end. So I think we were at P18, the AI played really nice with me at the start. I overtook a couple of cars and now we are hunting down Kevin Estre and the Porsche in front of us. So you do have a lot of buttons with the wheels. The only thing I really need is something to change the in-game HUD, and for the hypercars it's turn the engine map up or down. And the pit limiter for sure, and the look behind button is also pretty useful. Everything else not really needed. I have this little programmer macro keyboard on the left side of the rig. Most of the important dials I put on there because I change wheels quite a lot. So it's pretty important to me that I have all the important stuff on the left side, and on the wheel I need like 5 or 6 buttons. But more is always good. So yeah, all the buttons are LED backlit, also the encoders are LED backlit. You can customize them any way you want in SimHub. I think I just downloaded a default profile from ATSR, and right now I'm happy with it. I'll do more with it for sure. I also have the Neo hub lying around, so maybe I can just clone the profiles. So yeah, all in all, nice wheel. If you can get it for $300, it's, I wouldn't say a steal. It's still $300 is quite expensive. If I look at my Moza wheelbase, it was like $450 for the wheelbase, then $300 for a rim. This hobby gets quite expensive. But I think most of you know that. But yeah, coming from a Logitech Driving Force GT, then T300 for a couple of years, there are different kind of toys compared to a direct drive base. And also with the default Thrustmaster wheels, they feel even more toyish than the GT Neo. So I've been using the Moza base now for, I think, 6 weeks, 2 months maybe. I had a couple of longer sessions where I could really check it out and get to grips. So yeah, the upgrade definitely was worth it. I should have done it a lot sooner in hindsight. For the longest time I was saying to myself, I don't need to spend the money on a direct drive wheel. The T300 base is fine. I have 2 different rims to choose, and this is okay. I don't need to buy anything fancy or expensive. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think over the Christmas period. I've had a lot of time to drive. I sucked back to iracing, done a couple of races there, done a lot of races on LMU, and at some point I was just annoyed with my setup. I just wanted something new, and then I just bit the bullet, ordered an R9 base, the SRP pedals, a couple of haptic motors for the pedals, ordered a couple of DIY button boxes, ordered a lot of rims from AliExpress and from eBay. Most of them I've sold on since. I had a lot of stuff lying around here. I was trying out what do I like, what do I don't like. I think right now there are 7 wheels and rims behind me. I want to cut that down to, I would like 3, but it will probably be 4 or 5. There's also stuff like my modded Thrustmaster. It was expensive in itself. The Moza kit for it was like 140 euros. Yeah, if someone gives me 500 euros, I'll happily sell that wheel, but not for much less. Then I'm just going to keep it. I made a couple of bad buys. I bought the ESX wheel. If you're thinking about buying Moza and cheaping out and getting the ESX wheel with an R9, R12 or a higher base, don't do it. It's just not worth it. The default rim is complete garbage. It's a 28 centimeter D-shape. It's the cheapest plastic you can imagine. The default T300 wheel from Thrustmaster feels premium compared to the thingy that's on the ESX wheel. I removed that, put 32 centimeter suede rim on it. It now feels way better in hand, but yeah, I just don't like it with the Xbox button and the button layout, and it just doesn't look right. And it also doesn't have a real Moza quick release. The bolt pattern is smaller, so you can't really cannibalize it. And if you want to put a standard 70mm wheel on it, you have to get a spacer and also. So just don't buy the wheel. Buy something maybe from Etsy, or just buy the more expensive one. In the long run, it'll save you money. If you buy the ESX, you buy twice. That's been my experience. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the Moza SRP pedals. I was about to send them back because I hated them so much in the beginning. I had some Fanatex CSR Elite pedals. Those are ancient, from 2011, I think. Were one of the first Fanatex load cell pedals they made. The load cells broke all the time. I think I went through 8 of them. At some point I figured out you can buy them for like cents on AliExpress, and I think now Amazon carries them as well. So there's not an issue. Those were really nice pedals. I had them inverted for a time. They were really nice. They had 0 travel on the brake. You had a little spring, and most of the braking you were doing immediately against the load cell. And those pedals came out in 2011. I think I bought them 2012, so I drove them almost 13 years like that. With a little bit intermittent, I used the default Thrustmaster pedals to play GT7. Yeah, I hated the SRP pedals because they have so much travel in the brake pedal. I tried to mod them by myself, then I bought the brake performance kit or whatever they sell for 20 bucks. It has a a harder elastomere and a couple of new springs. I tried a lot of different combinations. In the end, I think I'm now running the hardest elastomere with the second hardest spring. I wasn't happy, but after a couple of hours of usage, I'm now getting used to the brake, and it's not awful anymore. It's not where I want them to be, but it's not awful. So if you want to buy them and you come from some like default Logitech Trustmaster pedals, I think they will suit you really nice because you're used to the long travel on the brake pedal. If you come from something which has a really short travel, maybe look at other options. Because this, yeah, it's now 6 to 8 weeks and I'm still not as comfortable on the brake as I was with the old ones. I sold them on. If I wouldn't have sold them, I would have swapped them out. So yeah, that's that. So I'm talking so much, we kind of did miss a lot of action in the race. Caught up to the GT cars. The AI prototypes are a little bit timid, especially when there's gaggles of cars in front of them. We've now made it past the Porsche and another Alpine, and will be in lap traffic for a while. That's the fun with the 61 cars on the grid in Spa. My feeling is also that the AI is a little bit more timid the more cars you have on track. I've done this race before with the, I think, default 36 car grids, and yeah, the hypercar AI was way more aggressive. Yeah, I actually wanted to do this live, talk and drive, but my mic had other ideas, so I did the stint. I was talking through the stint, and then I checked it, and I only had in-game audio. That's why I have to record it after the fact. And it is kind of hard talking and driving. It is also really hard talking and not forgetting the race, because through all the talking I have not looked one bit at the screen what is happening during the race, and there were a couple of really nice moves. Yeah, I just was buried in my ramblings about wheels and wheelbases and other sim hardware, so yeah, that's that. Yeah, we're now coming down to 20% virtual energy left, so 2 or 3 laps until the pit stop. I haven't done any fuel saving during the race, because why should I? I'm driving against the AI. I fear that they will all take tires and that I will be in P1 or P2 after the stops. So can talk a little bit about the switch from the T300 to the Moza base. In the beginning it was really weird. I felt the force feedback was way too strong. Didn't know what to do with it. I have to preface that with the T300 base I had the force feedback dialed really low. because I just wanted a little bit of wheel resistance, a little bit of curb effects, but anything more and the wheel would just get, yeah, not seize up, but it would just get hard to rotate against, and you didn't feel a thing. And then I switched to the Moza, and I was kind of overwhelmed with everything going on. So in the first couple of driving sessions I did, I configured the Moza to feel a little bit like the T300 did before, and then it was a slow and gradual process to ramp up the force feedback, put the effect sliders back to 100%. And right now I'm really happy with it. I drive 100% in pit house, and depends a little bit on mood and car, 35 to 65% in game. So I can only really talk about LMU because I've driven a little bit of iRacing and a little bit of Automobilista, but most of the time I've spent here. iRacing was actually an eye-opener. It felt nice for the first time in, I think I subbed in 2013. Yeah, and it always felt like shit to me. It never felt quite right. I never was happy. I threw money at them, bought content, played it a little bit, but it never felt quite right. Oh yeah, I kind of messed up that braking point. So, and then I went in my first practice session with the new wheel in iRacing, and it was like, wow, this feels actually good. I can feel what the car is doing. I feel grip. I feel grip in the corners. I feel like the wheel slip, and this was really nice. And there's one car in iRacing. It's the LMP3. I should like it. It's exactly my kind of car. It's a prototype, but it's not that fast. I could not drive it for the life of it. I was spinning out on corner entry, on corner exit, and I hopped in that car and I drove laps. And I drove laps consistently. Not really fast, but consistently, and it was like, wow. This was like my direct drive awakening experience. Yeah, and right now I think I'm running mostly default settings in pit house. I think I have a couple of clicks, interpolation, and the high frequency stuff I've turned down, I think, to 10%. And I'm quite happy with it. I can run Automobilista with the same settings. The iRacing sub isn't active as of March, so don't really remember what I did there. Yeah, but now we are nearly empty. We're gonna be diving in the pits real soon. The next stint I'll be doing with the Thrustmaster SF1000, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep using wheels which fit the car. I have a couple of wheels here. They are pretty dumb to use in a hypercar. Maybe I'll do one of them after the Thrustmaster one. So yeah, if you have 300 euros to spare, need a new wheel, buy the Simagic GT Neo. It's a fine wheel. If you want something that looks like a real race car wheel and you have more money, then don't buy it. But it's a fine wheel. So we had the endurance pits. They are quite long. I think we have the second to last, or the last pit stall. So anyway, thank you for watching. And have a good day wherever you are, and happy sim racing. Bye.